Hi guys, welcome back to Bunny Brick Designs. So earlier, we were working on this snowflake and I re-glued everything. I'm still letting it set up before I clean up some of the glue. But this was an absolute gorgeous, and it's fairly weighty snowflake. And so I decided to use the remainder of the beads and I started a bracelet. And so what I want to do now is do something a little bit more unique and different. And I want to take a second strand, and I've started designing the second strand here of just seed beads and the little crystals. And I want to be able to basically twist these around each other and go through the center here, come out the other side, and twist on some more, and then finally finish it off. Now, I haven't decided if I want this a little bit longer than it is, or if I want it a little bit shorter. I think I maybe do more crystals and less seed beads. So I'm designing on the fly here. And so I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do five seed beads, a crystal, 5 seed beads, and see what that looks like. Because again, I want as many crystals as possible. And then the seed beads are going to be the accent. So, just trying to do some things a little bit different, give you guys some variety. Get that blue one out of there. I don't need blue pearls. That's for another day. All right, so there's that. And then we will make some earrings and to go along with it, because I think this is going to be a Christmas gift for someone, and that way they have a snowflake and some jewelry to wear. So they get a Christmas ornament and a Christmas gift. All right, so you do want to make sure that your thing that you're twisting is going to be slightly longer than the one that is being twisted over, because it is going to lose some length when it does twist up. 2, 3, 4. And I would have braided this. I would have gotten a second one and braided this, but I don't think I'd have enough of those beads. And I don't want to use the big beads to braid with, because I think that would distract from... All right, so that looks perfect. Because again, once this is twisted up, so we're going to do that. So now, in order to get this through, this is my focal, starting... I'm going to say starting here with these round beads. And actually maybe with this. So I'm going to, well, let's see. First we have to figure out where we're going to go in. And I haven't decided whether I want to go in to the big bead. I think the big bead, yeah. So we're going to start feeding this through. And this is why I finished off the other one first, was because I wanted to make sure that this would go through as easily as possible. And I'm going to feed through some of those and then continue feeding through. And this isn't going to be easy. I'll tell you right now, this won't be easy. And while you could do it when it's not finished, if you're gonna design your own, you're gonna have a hard time figuring out length. if you don't have it completed. And I came out the wrong bead, but that's okay, because what I can do is just pull this out. And so what I'm doing is I'm just looking to see where the end is. And as soon as I see the end, I'm just going to bend, and there we go. And so that is going to be right there coming out. And like I said, it's going to be longer. But again, once you start twisting this around, so let's say I'm twisting, and it's really hard to do when you're not doing it on a jump ring. But once it's twisted around there, it's going to look something like that. And again, I can always take beads off the end here and do that, but you can't take them off once you've crimped. So what I would suggest is getting it all on and seeing what you think for length, and then we'll decide what to do. So I'm gonna string up my other side. So this way I have two bracelets technically, but the one doesn't distract from my main focal, which is what I didn't want to do. I wanted to make sure that the focal beads stood out quite nicely and do something a little bit different for a bracelet. All right, so there's one set. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got an extra one on there. Yep, and we need one more crystal. I may end up not doing the seed beads, or only doing 1 or 2 seed beads on the ends, depending on what it looks like. All right, so we have our 2 tiers there. And so these are quite a bit longer. I'm thinking I probably only need 3 seed beads on either side. I'm going to take a couple off. And I think that would be the perfect length. Because again, you don't need it super long. You just need it slightly longer than the other one. All right, and so I am thinking that is good. I am going to tighten this guy up, and I'm going to pull this one tight and put, just for ha-has, I'm going to put a bead stopper at the end there, just to make sure that they stay tight when I'm doing my twists, just to see how it looks, because I don't want to finish off until I know that they're going to twist up nicely. And you don't need to twist a ton, just 2 or 3 times. And I think that looks good. So it's just going to be a very fun twisted bracelet, very sparkly. So I think that's perfect. So I'm going to crimp the first side here. And I'm using wire guardians, and I need a crimp bead. So I'm going to use some wire guardians, and we will put my bead stopper on so I don't lose those. And then I will show you how we twist when, ooh, those all wanted to come out. All right, so wire guardian. First a crimp bead, then my wire guardian. And because I want this to have a very finished look, I will be putting a bead cover, a crimp cover over my my crimp, just because I want this to be very, very, very polished, sparkly. And right now I'm just trying, oh, excuse me, I'm just trying to close my wire guardian and make sure that my wire guardian was not going to hinder the bead cover or not going to hinder. All right, so to do this, I'm using my crimp and I'm getting my crimp cover in there, and I'm using smaller crimp covers because, again, I don't want the super large ones on this. I think it would look weird. And all I'm doing is getting my crimp in if I don't drop it. So you need to make sure you've got a good hold on it in the pliers in the first hole there. And make sure you hold on tight, but not tight enough to crimp it. Set your, or try to get it in there. So what I'm trying to do is get it in and then turn it just a little bit so that's setting inside of the bead cover. So it's in there. And it wants to come out. But now I've gotten it in there, and it is kind of tucked in just a little bit. And so you're just going to take your crimp cover, if I can get a hold of it. Ugh. And normally I do this, and let me do that. Let me put on my magnifiers and get a bunny a cookie. Because I think this would actually work better for me. And excuse me if I get my head in here. It's always really hard to see if I've got this in. Ooh, fine. All right, so that is in my crimp. And this is why I don't use crimp covers that often. Because honestly, I really hate these things. Fine. That one's not working. Let me grab another one. It may be the crimp cover. Sometimes they're bent a little out of shape when you get them. And like that one looks pretty good. I don't know if that was the one I was using or not, but that one looked pretty good. And see, maybe that was the one I was using. They like to stick together inside of each other. So see, they're stuck together, and this is why I'm having a hard time with these, because they've already been stuck together in the package. And if they get stuck together like that, if you pull them apart, they may distort, and then you're not going to be able to use them. So, all right, that looks nice and uniform. Now let's see if we can get this guy in. So again, I'm going to set it in and see if I can turn it. Maybe. Ugh. And again, I'm trying to do this gently and on camera, and this is the problem. Every time I do these things on camera, I never get them to work right. And excuse the fingers for being in the way. Seriously? All right. Maybe I just have to use fingers to start. All right, guys, I'm going to fight with this. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to fight with this off camera. All right, guys, I finally got it after breaking a crimp bead. So I think the crimp bead wasn't crimped properly. That was the problem. It was sliding around. All right, so I'm going to go through a few beads and just trim off my excess wire here. And so there you go. You got a nice finished bead that looks just like the seed beads. And now let's see if we can pull this one tight and do this side. Now I still got my big glasses on just so I can see what I'm doing here. And we'll try to do this one on camera with you. So I'm going to go through my wire guardian and back through and slide it down. I am going to go through my crimp bead and a couple of seed beads and just pull it mostly tight. Again, I need to have room for that, so you're going to want to have a little bit of room for the crimp cover. Not a ton, but a little bit of room. And so I am just going to flatten this guy down. And I smashed that one pretty good. Although he's sliding. See, I think I got some defective crimps because that one doesn't look like that one didn't smash down correctly. It kind of, I don't know if you can see that. It kind of just, I mean, it smushed, but not anywhere near what I need it to be. So I'm going to try to get this off. And redo that one. I think I've got a set of defective crimp beads here. Yeah. Yep, see, that just pulled right off. And while it did stay crimped to the one side, we can get that off. And see, that's just, it's stripping the wire. I'm going to have to redo this. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So apparently it was the crimp beads. So these crimp beads were bad. I broke out another pack and it worked fine. And even the crimp covers went on quite easily once I restrung everything up. So now I have my two pieces here, and I know it looks kind of weird. So we're going to take some jump rings, and I'm going to grab probably a medium-sized jump ring here. Not too big, not too small. And I'm going to get one ready by opening it up. But we're not going to put them on just yet. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do one side at a time. So I've got my jump ring open. And I'm going to take, whoops, I'm throwing wires. I'm going to take my beads and I'm going to twist the longer one over it. And then I'm going to get them side by side. And I know this is going to look weird at the moment, but then I am just going to get both of those onto the jump ring. Now this will unravel a little bit, but not a ton, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want it to be super tight. And again, if you wanted to, you could twist it some more. But once we get the jump ring, once we get it put on the jump ring, and the jump ring is turned the way we want it, it will look, again, it will look good. So now we're going to do the other side, and I'm going to open up a jump ring because we are going to need that jump ring as soon as we're done twisting. And again, I didn't want it to, and again, the jump ring is gonna, it is going to untwist until we put it together on with a clasp and put it together. So it will twist, untwist, and untwist. That's just the nature of how this goes. But again, once we get the jump rings on, there we go, nice and flat. All right, and then all we have to do is twist a little bit, and it will, and I will show you. Let me put a clasp on it. Let me grab a clasp. Clasps, 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 clasps. Do I have a nice lobster claw? Or do I want to put a, is that long enough to be, and right now I know it's untwisted. I think that might actually be long enough. But I want extender chain because, again, this is a gift. So I am looking for my good gold clasps and some extender chain. I'm just going to take a small piece of extender chain here, and do I want a different clasp? I'm looking for my brighter gold clasps, so in case you're wondering, that's what I'm doing over here. I'm looking for the more yellow, the brighter yellow. I know I have some. If not, I'll use, I do, right there, see? And that's what I wanted. That one's a little too light for me. For this piece, I wanted that one. It's a little more orangey yellow. All right, so to get that on, I'm going to use an additional jump ring. Let me get another jump ring here. Oh, I already have two. Perfect. And I'm just going to open these up. And I'm going to make sure by holding on to my jump ring and twisting and making sure that this is nice and twisted. Just straightening out my jump ring there. I'm going to snag my clasp on one side. And there we go. There's that side. And now on this side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to twist and make sure we have the clasp. We're just going to twist. And it will, like I said, it will look funny until it's on, and I'll put it on the mannequin and show you what it looks like on there. And Velvet just decided she was going to sleep in her bed. I've got to get you a shot of that. She's been making a mess since she came home from surgery, but she's at least happy and healthy. And see that untwisted here, but we will twist it back up. And this is the thing for this. It's going to need twisted. And you can tell, you know, when people wear it, you just tell them if they want it more twisted or less twisted. They can twist or untwist. I'm going to twist it here. And then I am going to clasp it and then place it on the mannequin. There. And then we'll place this twisted on the mannequin. And it's not twisted a ton, which is not what I didn't really want it twisted a ton. I just wanted kind of an S spiral like this. And then this one is an S spiral on that side. So it looks like it's just going, and it is a very fun bracelet. It's, you know, something a little more fancy for your wearer. And again, you can lock your beads in wherever you want on your wrist, but this is what it's going to look like. So, yep. And that one's just not wanting to stay. Now, you could interlock them if you wanted to, like I put the wire through there. You could put a few beads on, attach it to a bead, put a few beads on, attach it to another bead if you wanted to. But again, I wanted it loose because in the event that somebody did want to wear it, let's say, you know, let me undo it this way, and they wanted to wear it so it looks like two bracelets, or untwisted like that, you could also wear it like that. I personally like it twisted. And again, you can twist it more. You can twist it however you want. Again, it's, you know, entirely up to you, how you wear it, how you do it. But it's a 2-in-1 bracelet, something a little more fancy, a little more fun, and not your standard single bracelet. But it has this focal that, you know, is either got the bronze side or the AB side, and it's, you know, just another sparkly thing to go along with the snowflake. All right. So we got a few more minutes now that we've made the bracelet. Let's make a quick pair of earrings. So I was already designing, I was thinking maybe something like this for the earrings. But I'm not sure, because I was thinking, do I want something, you know, do I want something a little more than that? I don't know. I think I like this. So again, I've only got 2 of these left. So I do want to make it a little bit bigger though. I think I want these to be longer. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do, I think, a double dangle, which is going to be a little more fun. We can put some more beads. So we're going to start out, we're going to have 2 drops there. I'm going to grab some more eye pins. And I think what we're going to do is do one of these, a seed bead, a small crystal, because what I want this to do is I want this to look like the drop of a snowflake, like the end of a snowflake. And then I'm going to put a pearl and another one of these. And I think that with that will look good. I think that looks good. And I'm going to finish it off with a gold seed bead, just because I want to have that finishing touch. Now I'm going to use my loopers for this, just because I think this is easier. And that didn't really loop very well, but that's fine. We'll fix that here in a minute. Where's my round nose? My loopers have been getting quite weak lately. I honestly think that they're about to break because they're not looping correctly. They haven't been for a while. But I do like that they cut for you, so all right. Now we're gonna string on the other one. I do like that. I even like that as its own drop, but I want to again make this look like the spoke of a snowflake. And where are my little beads? I need 2 more of those little beads. There's one. And then a pearl, which comes out of my stash. And another one of those. And another gold seed bead. Now let's see if this one loops any better. That was a little better. So these are, these loopers, and I don't know if it's the metal. There is a little bar here. I don't know if you can see it on the tip of my nail. There's that little, yeah, there you go. There's that little bar, which when it closes right there, it cuts. I think that's what's causing it. I think that's finally gotten dull and is not closing things correctly, or cutting. It's not cutting it 100%, and it's getting stuck, which is causing things to not loop 100% correctly there. That's better. All right. Sorry about the sirens. I don't know what's going on, but police are going by. Now we're going to get the bottom drops, and I didn't have that close all the way because we are going to attach with that and then close it up. And see, this is what I mean by it not cutting. And I broke a... Nope, I didn't break a bead, thank God. But see, this is what I mean. It's dying. So we'll try that again with another head pin. I may just make my own loop on this one just because that way. So if you're interested in getting the loopers, they're great if you're doing a lot of loops. However, if you use them a ton, like I have, they will eventually wear out and you will need to buy a new pair. I've had them for, oh God, probably, I don't know, almost a year and a half now, maybe a little longer. And, I was using them to do all of my loops just because I got lazy. Unfortunately, I think that's what's causing the problem is all right, I've got to show you the cuteness, guys. There is the cuteness that is Velvet. She just flopped and is sitting in her bed. She basically puts herself to bed. Which is funny because she doesn't fit in that bed, but she loves it. Anyways, I'm going to put you back now. Alright, that one didn't work the way I wanted it to. It's a little too long. I'm going to trim off a little bit of that wire here if I can. There we go. And see if I can make this a little bit smaller because I want it super tight. There we go. All right. Maybe. That's not. All right, we're looping this again. It may be these head pins too. I got these. Oh, I forget where I got them. I think I got them on Amazon. Just a word of caution. When you buy stuff from, you know, Amazon or AliExpress or any of those, you don't know the quality of the metals that you're getting. So just be careful because I've had a lot of problems with things saying that they're natural, all natural. So like I bought some stones that claimed they were all natural stones off of Amazon, one of their sellers. And it turned out they were dyed. All right, so we got that. Now, I am going to use, because it's already open, I am just going to hook that on there and close this up. Grab my pliers here. There we go, that one's closed. Snap that in. Close this up. All right, I like that. So those are going to be a little long, but that's fine. I wanted long because again, I wanted these to look like ice crystals, like golden ice crystals. So that's one side. Flip it over, that's the other. I like this side better. Golden ice crystals. And we're just going to put that back. All right, and there we go. So, bracelet and a pair of earrings with, and I'm going to call this golden ice crystals. And this is going to be the companion to the snowflake that we did earlier today. I absolutely love this. So this is going to be a gift for someone for Christmas. So anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and I'm going to clean up, and I will see you in the next one.